Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Liftoff with Jeannie Walden. It is time to take your world to an entirely new level of success as we bring you all the goods in business insights, work-life blend, and professional advice. Tell me, are you ready? Well, you need to tell it to my heart because my next guest is an absolute icon. Taylor Dayne is an American pop icon with a career spanning over 3 decades. Taylor's groundbreaking debut single, Tell It to My Heart, turned her into an overnight international star in 1987. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome the incredible Taylor Dayne to Liftoff. Taylor, I'm so thrilled to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, when you hear all that, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, you're celebrating 35 years of Tell It to My Heart, which I can't believe. And you're on tour now.
Oh, yeah.
With the Love Me tour. And I just so excited. I can't wait to come see you. Tell us what fans can expect.
Well, the Love Me tour, we went through this incredible, your global COVID. And I started doing things called like Sunday concerts. I started to figure out how I could get musicians to just be in my back house, in my studio, and just get people together. And how could I share that? And that's what turned into Dayne's Den. And Dayne's Den was this Sunday kind of, ritual where I had musicians coming together and a group. And I started doing not just Taylor Dayne songs. I started doing covers, or one week I was doing the Beatles, another week I might be doing the Fugees. It was just this wonderful kind of time. And then I said, why am I not recording this? Well, no record studios, no recording studios were open, but that's what the Capitol sessions. So when you hear these covers of like Lose You to Love Me that I came out with like 6 months ago. So everything's coming together and being released on April 24th. It's called the Capitol Sessions. It has one original song on it. It's called Paper Planes, and we'll introduce that. But that's what I ended up doing. I also, during the pandemic, was diagnosed with cancer. This turned into the walk hole, now being a spokesperson for Fit for the Cure, for women, and coming in and doing these incredible events. I have to say it, mostly Dillard stores with their, being a brand ambassador for Walk Hole, who's been in a 25-year relationship with Susan G. Komen. I'm now a cancer survivor. More than that, I'm a thriver. And I get to talk about, what it is to win at life for me. And winning at life is taking it by the, taking your hands and grabbing it and knowing that you want to live. And when you want to live, you fight hard.
Absolutely. It is such a powerful name of the tour and such a powerful thing that you're doing. I know if I didn't ask, our viewers would send me hate emails and Instagrams. Will you sing anything for us since you're on the show?
I would sing anything. I would sing not everything, but anything. What would you love to hear?
Oh my gosh.
I can't even believe this. I wish you had Collins.
I know. I wish we had Collins too. Well, I'm going to default to Tell It to Your Heart because that's, one of my favorites. Yeah, I love
Okay,
that
well,
song.
I just did it with Joey Fatone and AJ last night. Just went up there, and I tell you, watch in a sea of NSYNC fans and Backstreet Boy fans. You can imagine these girls were like, it was just like, I feel the night explode, and we're together. Tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Is this really love or just a game? Tell it to my heart. I'm gonna get up. Make my every time you call my name.
Wow, that was so amazing. A special a cappella version of Tell It to My Heart with Taylor Dayne right here on Liftoff. I really, really hope that inspires every single person listening to wrap their arms around themselves and give themselves a hug and celebrate who they are and everything they're going through. And Taylor, thank you so much. We love and support you and everything that you're doing. Keep getting out there and inspiring us to be better.
Amen. Thank you, my love. Mwah.
Thank you. With spring springing up new life, I have some great product picks for all the new parents and the new grandparents out there coming up next, so stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. We know that spring means new life, so that's a very popular time for baby showers. As a mom myself, I know the challenges of working and raising little ones. The leading #1 baby monitor, VTech, has you covered from infancy to the toddler years, so you have it so much easier than I did when my kids were little. Today, I have two essential VTech products to share that every new parent should have for their little one. To start, the VTech VCare Smart Nursery Baby Monitor is the latest baby monitor packed with AI innovation technology. This baby monitor is specifically designed for newborns and is packed with mind-blowing features such as rollover, face covering, and cry detection. How nice is that? It also offers baby sleep analytics to help you understand your little one's sleep patterns. And as a new mom, you know you need to understand those sleep patterns so you can get some sleep. With a stunning high definition 720p screen on a 5-inch parent unit, you will have a crystal clear view of your baby. Plus, you can access the monitor remotely via your smartphone or tablet with the VTech Baby Care app. And the best part? It's wall mountable for easy installation. Next, let's dive into the VTech V-Hush sleep training soother that makes bedtime and waking up a breeze. You can personalize the experience by recording your own audio content through the free app. With over 100 preloaded content options, your child will be engaged and soothed. Plus, the multicolor nightlight offers over 250 hues, creating a very calming environment. Plus, it's equipped with a rechargeable battery for convenient on-the-go use. VTech's products are perfect for the busy parent. We'll be back with more tips for parents and adults alike. Stay with us.
Are you feeling like you're at the end of your rope, struggling and searching for answers to help your child with autism to live a happier, healthier, and a more fulfilling life? There are answers, and I'm here to help you. I'm Karen Thomas, and I've spent over 30 years in the field of holistic health to help my own son and other parents worldwide. And now I want to help you to take the first and easiest step with my free guide. And you can download that right now at autismfoodguide.com.
Temple Grandin is a distinguished professor of animal science at Colorado State University. In her life's work, she's been instrumental in implementing facilities and animal welfare auditing programs that are used by giant corporations from McDonald's and Wendy's to Whole Foods. Temple, it is such an honor to talk to you, especially in Autism Awareness Month. Can you tell us and everybody that's watching some of the insights we should know about autism?
Important things is realizing three kinds of thinkers exist. And in autism, you tend to get an extreme object visualizer, an extreme mathematician, where so-called neurotypicals are more in the middle with mixtures. And these two different types of visualization, pattern visualization, which is mathematical, versus picture visualization, bring different skills to the workplace, and you need both. And where I'm concerned is my kind of mind cannot do algebra, so we're getting screened out, labeled disabled. Where I worked with visual thinkers that invented all kinds of equipment in the beef industry, equipment we're still using, and they were definitely autistic.
It'd be wonderful if you could share with all of us autism in the workplace and any tips you have for autistic people that are looking to enter the workplace.
Well, for all kinds of autistic minds, I want to keep them away from what I call rapid multitasking chaos. Now, where some of your word autistic thinkers are good, these are the ones that love history. They're very good at what I call specialized retail. There's been some real success at selling cars, selling auto parts, selling sporting goods, selling specialized business insurance, because they can help the person pick the right car or the right business insurance for their business. Where it's specialized products and deep knowledge of the products is appreciated. Those jobs have actually been very successful for the kind of autistic kid that's the history lover. Or they have every football player, every movie actor for certain genre of movies.
Temple, I could talk to you for hours. You are so amazing and fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Just great talking to you.
We've got a packed episode coming up with AI insights, food for thought, and more. So stay with us. Sam Tejada, author of How to Win in Modern Wellness, is a former paramedic firefighter revolutionizing the healthcare industry with his personalized approach to modern wellness. Founder of Liquivita, a multi-million-dollar company with franchise locations throughout the US, you may remember the amazing Lily Yu from a previous episode. Sam is an expert in transformative wellness services that cater to individual needs, from IV therapy and weight management to advanced aesthetic procedures and more. Sam, you already know that I am obsessed with everything that you do. Welcome to Liftoff.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
So Sam, you talk a lot about toxins. Tell us about toxins and how do they affect us?
So, toxins, based off of a lot of research that's being done, is really the true cause of disease development. And why is that so? Is these type of different toxins that we get exposed to, what ends up happening, it causes what's called oxidative stress. The best way I could put it is it makes you rusty inside. And then that oxidative stress basically becomes inflammation, which it starts with acute inflammation and then becomes chronic inflammation. And once you have that chronic inflammation, that's where those inflammatory cells start to attack other cells, your good cells, and also organs. So toxins is one of the things that we have to, number one, avoid, and then number two, detoxify our bodies in certain ways to get rid of them.
Yeah, I get it. It'd be great if you could explain, how do these toxins actually enter our bodies?
So in a magnitude of different ways, on a day-to-day basis, just the way we live our life, we get exposed to toxins through environment, through foods, through certain things that we put on our skin that goes transdermally. And I'll give you an example. A lot of us, we love to eat healthy. So sometimes we have certain things that we think are healthy, but if we have too much of it, it can become very toxic. Some of the things that are inside of those foods. And an example of that is like eating fish, right? If you eat too much of certain fish, some fish have mercury. So if you have too much mercury in your system, that can become very toxic to your body. Utilizing something like deodorant. There's a lot of deodorants out there that have aluminum. That's a heavy metal that can become very toxic and can cause neurological dysfunction down the line, if you have a lot of exposure. The water we drink, there's certain microplastics that are in some of the bottles that we use. So some of these things will actually attack some of our cells, cause a change in the gene expression, and then that's where a lot of disease starts to develop.
With spring upon us, what are your simple strategies to spring clean our bodies and reduce exposure to some common toxins?
So great question. We always talk about spring cleaning our homes, but we really should spring clean our body. And part of that is, first thing is, let's get rid of a lot of these plastics that we have at home that we store foods in. Let's use glass containers, right? Especially if you're going to be heating up these foods in the microwave or whatever it is. The last thing you want to do is heat it up in plastic, where then these plastics, these chemicals that gas off of those plastics will leach into the foods and then into our body. There's other things that you want to do also is do like an environmental test inside of your house. Make sure you're checking it for like mold, right? Fungi is a big toxin that can affect us, can affect our lungs and also other organs in our body. Also, making sure that you're doing things to detoxify your own body, right? Eating foods that are high in antioxidants. Antioxidants like vitamin A, vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid, glutathione. Vitamin C is a very strong antioxidant. So those are just a few tips that would really help start detoxing your body and doing that spring cleaning for yourself.
Such great info, Sam. As always, thanks for being on the show. I'm headed to Liquivita in just a few days.
Absolutely. Health is wealth. It's the most important and the most valuable currency that you can have. You won't trade it for anything. You'll never trade it on the stock market. So take care of your health.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We've got more great guests coming right up. Shani Seidman is the CMO of Kayco, parent company of Manischewitz, a leading kosher food company for over 130 years. With Passover coming, or as Shani likes to call it, the Super Bowl of Jewish food, she's here to tell us more about Manischewitz and delicious Jewish cuisine. Welcome to Liftoff, Shani.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here to talk about this iconic brand. Thank you again for hosting us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited when everybody comes and brings food on the
Absolutely.
show.
And we love bringing food, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about Manischewitz and why it's become such a critical element of the Super Bowl of Jewish food.
Absolutely. I mean, this brand has its roots, really its legacy in Jewish culture through food. I mean, you mentioned it's a 130-year-old brand, and it started off with Dov Ber Manischewitz, this guy who wanted to make a matzah for his community, and it just evolved. It's now synonymous with Jewish culture and food. What we're trying to do, we've just rebranded with bold colors and like really fun characters. We're trying to make the kosher aisle a destination and an attractive place for people who want to explore new cuisines, explore Jewish food. We have such a rich history there, and welcome them to our table. So it's kosher food or Jewish food for anyone.
I love that. And I love Manischewitz Matzah Monday, right?
Yes,
the 3 M's
exactly.
of what to do. So then we can have still Taco Tuesday. And then,
of course.
And then that's great. But what do you have here? Because this looks delicious. I'm dying to taste it.
So I put out some macaroons, which is part of like, if the Super Bowl is, if Passover is like the Jewish Super Bowl, this is like the wings of Passover. Like this is like one of the dishes that iconic or like desserts that you have is the macaroon. History, because of like the way that we eat on Passover, like we don't necessarily have flour in our desserts. Right. So we have coconut. And now, it's so interesting because Jewish food, there's a lot of trends that come and go, like gluten-free and, non-dairy and vegan. And it's interesting because of Jewish food and the history there's a lot of trends like embedded in what we do anyways. So macaroons naturally gluten-free because it has no flour in it. So it became an iconic Passover dish. And what Manischewitz did, we called ourselves the Baskin Robbins of macaroons because we don't just have one flavor. We don't just have a almond or whatever. We have around 20 flavors. We have Rocky Road. We have pistachio almond, pistachio orange. We have so many, we just kept going. And my favorite is actually pistachio orange. Like, I'm not allowed back in my house if I don't bring this.
And that's what you said before we started shooting. You said, I need to make sure I go home with this.
Yes, exactly. You need to try it. So let's try it on if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
We love feeding people. You love bringing
I love eating. So let's do it.
Yeah. Pistachio orange macaroon.
Yeah, this looks delicious. Oh my God. It's so good.
It's so good.
You can eat the whole box, right?
Oh, yeah.
You took the calories out. Yeah.
Calories don't count on Passover.
True.
And also, if you break it, the calories escape. I don't know if you've heard that.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to do that right now.
Break it open.
This is so good. So good.
He's got like the citrus and the coconut. It's just so good.
It's really good.
So I have to bring that home for Passover. But again, these are all like iconic Jewish dishes. And what we really want to do now is kind of like invite maybe your grandmother, your bubby, used to make these. We want like her grandchild to invite their friends. You don't have to be Jewish to enjoy this food. It's Jewish food for all. Inviting everyone to our table to enjoy all of our delicious dishes, especially the pistachio orange macaroon.
Well, I love this. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
And thank you for being on Liftoff.
Thank
Everybody,
you so much.
I need a snack break, but stay tuned because we have more amazing guests and insights coming up. Libby Hikind, often referred to as the Queen of Grants, is the founder and CEO of GrantWatch.com, the leading grant funding search engine for nonprofits, businesses, and individuals with more than 230,000 monthly visitors. Her new book, The Queen of Grants, From Teacher to Grant Writer to CEO, was just released. I'm so excited to have her on the show because she's here to tell us all about it. And as you all know, I'm obsessed with this topic specifically. Libby, it's so great to have you on Liftoff.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, Libby, I don't know if you know it, but I started out as a teacher too. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So in your book, Queen of Grants, you share your journey from teacher to grant writer to CEO of GrantWatch. Tell us a bit about how your first career led to the second and where you are today.
I started out as a young teacher, wanting to teach my special education students word processing to boost up their written communication skills. and the computers just couldn't do it. There wasn't enough memory. So we went to the district office. There was no money. They said, there's a grant available from Tandy. If Libby wants to write it, we'll teach her. And I went every day after school to the district office. They mentored me. I wrote it. We won.
Amazing.
My first grant. And everybody, I just want to let you know, you can do it too. If I did it, so can you.
You know, it's this fascinating topic for me because my mom worked at the University of Pittsburgh and she was responsible for grants. And it just seemed like it was so easy for her. And then when I became the CEO of Liftoff, I tried to apply for grants and it's like a whole different world. And I think when we think of grants, many of us think that grants are only for nonprofits. What type of grants are available for everyday people like me or anybody else to apply for?
I've seen so much over the years. We've seen grants for a roof, grants for solar energy, grants to plant trees in your community, grants for artists to do murals, for tourism, grants for veterans, grants for women coming back into the workplace. It's just, there's so much. And when it comes out, you need to apply right away. If you think about it and you procrastinate, tell your friends the money's going to run out and there's no grant.
You're like the Wizard of Oz of grants to me. This is amazing. So how do people search for grants that they're eligible to apply for?
First, start with your location. If you're a farmer in Minnesota, you don't want to look for grants that are being given in Oklahoma, right? And then we have about 60 categories of grants. So you can pick a category and you can search by keywords and find foundations that have previously given for the same purpose and write them a letter of inquiry. So you have 2 different ways to go.
Look at all the stuff we're learning. All right, last question. With AI being so prevalent in everything that we're doing today, I saw yesterday on Instagram, I don't need to get a photographer anymore. AI will automatically take my pictures. Can AI automatically write grants for me?
It could, but you won't win.
Good to know.
What you feed AI is what you get back. So if you feed AI, let's say you want to run a program, for a preschool program, right? You feed AI the data for your area and you say, I need 4 needs that prove that we need a preschool program here. And this is all the data. This is how the reading levels, this is how many parents are, both working, all this community data. Then you may get something back. You may get your 4 needs. But if you don't feed it the right data, you're not going to get it back, right? And also, grants are developed from within the organization. You start with your budget. You say what you want to do. What do you want to do? That's very important. Otherwise, AI is going to write you a grant. You're going to commit to something you don't want to do.
True. Well, this has been such a great conversation. Thrilled that you were on the show. Thank you so much. Everybody, I know you love that as much as I did. Check it out. We're all going to start writing grants tonight. I just know it. Stay tuned because we're going to come back with even more guests. Sal Ramatula is founder of billion-dollar fintech company and most recently co-founder and co-CEO of a new fintech startup, Worth AI. Collaborating with his sister, Sunira Madani, Sunira is a trailblazing unicorn founder and CEO of Stax Payments, one of America's top 10 fastest growing fintech companies. Welcome to Liftoff, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, Jeannie, for having us.
We're thrilled to have you here. Sunira, you founded and led your last company, Stax, to unicorn status. I know what that means from my prior companies. That is a huge, huge deal.
Thank you. I mean, I didn't do it myself. So Sal and I started the company in 2014, and we had such an incredible team through the entire 10-year journey that supported us, and just our amazing community, investors, partners, all the things. I exited as CEO in 2022, so a little over a year and a half ago. And we have now launched another fintech just a couple weeks ago called Worth AI.
And just for everybody that's watching, unicorn fintechs are worth $1 billion.
Yes.
And there aren't many. What inspired you to try and do it again? Are you just addicts to be unicorn junkies? What
Partially.
did you find a need?
I think the first time around, just building the business as we did. I mean, we always say there's no such thing as a $1 billion idea, just a $1 billion execution. And we were heads down and executing. We did an incredible job. But as, founders, as a woman, as people of color, we also saw things differently in the financial sector lens that we believe that needs to be done differently. So as an institution, we did payments, but we onboarded over 100,000 small businesses. And one of the challenges is, credit underwriting for these businesses. And there just really wasn't a standardization to really understand a business's worth and a business's credit worth. And for the longest time, we would go back and forth to say, why isn't there just a business credit score? We have a personal credit score that, shapes our financial health as a consumer, but this doesn't apply on the business lens. And not only for us as founders, like we had to do everything on our personal credits. And even this time around building worth, it's still on our personal credit. But as an institution itself, it would be so helpful to have some standardization. And we just saw a lot of it. There's a lot of human biasness that goes into, in this sector, and we want to eliminate that. So doing it again, honestly, it's crazy. But we believe that this is such a necessity, and we're like the best people to solve this problem.
I'm curious because you didn't just start a new company, you started an AI-based company.
Yeah.
So Sal, what can you tell us about this AI-powered technology and not only what it's doing, because I think we kind of understand that, but what it's doing for financial institutions and small business owners that is the next wave of how credit is viewed and assessed?
Yeah, AI is a big topic right now, right? So you hear it in every single article, every area you turn around. And I think that there's a lot of good that can come with AI. And so when you start to introduce large amounts of data sets, there's been a huge transformation that's really happened in small and medium-sized businesses. You had a big COVID push that really digitized a lot of these businesses to get online. And we really looked at that as an opportunity to say, well, how do you grab all these data sources that are out there and leverage new technology like AI to be able to actually help small businesses to really understand their business credit score? And that's really what we focused on, is how can you bring all this information in and use things like generative AI to start to forecast out and help small businesses as well as institutions really provide credit.
My last question for both of you, being brother and sister, is there any brother-sister rivalry at work? Like, is there any kind of temper tantrums? Does she do something wrong and somehow you take all the blame, or vice versa?
It feels that way at times. Saneera's 2 years older, and so she'll I'll open up with that. And the reason I share it is, so this is obviously our second time, Saneera always gets 2% more of every company. So that's how we divide and conquer. People are like, how do you do it? So it's just like that's just the rule of how it works out. She also has 2 square feet more in the office, but that's who's counting. Exactly. No, I think that it comes with trust, right? At the end of the day, we went to 10 schools in 12 years. We bounced around a lot through that entrepreneurial journey. And so for us, it's just somebody that we know that when we walk out of a room, we're both maniacally aligned and we both have and share the same core values. So even if we can approach something in a different manner, both of us want the same outcome and goal. And so I think it's been a blessing to work with her. I'm sure our parents are proud, and I know my mom's proud, and it's exciting, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, that was really sweet.
So nice. Such a nice way to end the show. Thank you so much for both being on the show. We'll be watching. We'll be watching all the progress.
Check out Worth at Worth Score.
That was amazing. All right, everybody. What an incredible way to end the show. I could tell brother-sister stories all day long from my kids. Today was another amazing episode full of so many incredible experts. Thank you so much for being on this Liftoff journey with us. Please be sure to follow us on social for more content, fun, and behind the scenes. You're also going to get some great business insights. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
The proceeding was sponsored by Liftoff Enterprises, LLC.